take a walk with me. Stretch out this time and savor the moment. It's time for a red mage, blue mage extra turn, baby. Oh yeah.
So I'm supposed to take the charge.
Yes, because I am a roiling lake of acid and hate.
Of confusion and anger.
A lot of that.
Okay, well, let's get to it. I'm
Okay.
interested to hear why.
Do we introduce ourselves in this?
Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
Okay.
I'm Kenny. See, that's me taking the lead.
Your great job. Oh yeah, I'm Amber.
This is Red Mage, Blue Mage, and this is an extra turn. It is spoiler season for
Yeah.
War of the Spark, which we've talked about a fair amount already. Talked a lot about the story leading up to this, and we had an extra turn a few weeks ago that was about spoiling that there would be 36 planeswalkers,
Oh yeah.
and now we are starting to see them.
The speculation was last extra turn, right? Like we were like, what are they gonna do? Right? Is that what we
No.
talked about?
That was 2 times ago. The previous
Oh.
one was about the AI London mulligan.
I don't fucking remember what we talk about. Whatever.
But so maybe that's a good place to start. So in our previous discussion, when all we knew really was that there would be 36 planeswalkers and that there would be one in every pack, we made a few predictions, some of which have come true.
We are so right.
About a lot of things.
100% right. Accurate on every level.
We were right about there being uncommon planeswalkers. I think you brought that up.
I wanted
And
them to be common, but sure, okay.
You wanted them to go all the way to common, but this is a step in that direction. We also said that they would probably have planeswalkers with just 1 or 2 abilities if
Yep.
there were going to be so many of them. They would operate like enchantments, basically.
Yep.
And we've got that.
Yep.
And I think the one big thing that we missed and the innovation that they added here is to have planeswalkers with static abilities.
What do you mean?
So let's talk about one of these. So we've got your boy Tibalt.
Yeah.
He's an uncommon planeswalker. Tibalt Rakish Instigator, 2 and a red for a legendary Tibalt planeswalker.
Uh-huh.
He comes in with 5 loyalty, and he has an ability that has no loyalty attached to it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
like-
have to plus or minus it.
Yeah, it's just like an enchantment aura or something. That's
Right.
what I thought. Yeah.
And it says your opponents can't gain life. And that's just on all the time. And then he has a single minus ability, -2, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target.
Mm-hmm.
So Tibalt's whole thing, he prevents your opponent from getting life, and he just poops out these little 1/1 red devils.
Yep.
So we got a lot of stuff right, I think. Made a lot of accurate predictions. Maybe we should address these planeswalkers?
I'm holding back a lot right now.
Should I start with what I think about them?
I don't know, because I might interrupt you halfway through and just start just frothing at the mouth.
Just go. Just tell me what you think
Okay.
about these planeswalkers.
So, I'm an idiot, and I'm looking at... You're already laughing at me? Okay, so... I'm an idiot, and I'm looking at these planeswalkers, and I'm like, oh, shit, I can only tap them, or I can only, spend loyalty maybe twice, and then they'll have, 1. Like, you see a lot of them have, 5 loyalty,
Right.
and then their minus is 2.
Right.
So that means they'll have one that keeps our static ability or enchantment aura out there. I
Right.
was like, okay, that's smart. I'm like, but what if I wanted... They're just useless after that. They're just fucking useless. I can't do anything. They're dumb. And then I look at a card, and it says... Proliferate. So they've
That's
brought
right.
Proliferate into this
Proliferate's back. One
and
of my
I-
favorite mechanics. We've already talked about it.
Fuck it. So I'm mad because Wizards is making me think, and I caught myself going, oh, that's actually really smart. No, I hate Proliferate. I don't want to have to think about these things. And they're making me think, and I kind of like it, and I don't like that I kind of like it. So, oh my god, now I understand what Proliferate is about.
Yeah.
And I hate that I understand this. It's
And it's
stupid.
kind of cool, right?
Whatever. Okay, so then I was like also looking and going, well, Proliferate I thought was mainly like a blue mechanic or like a colorless or like an artifact thing.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, then what if I want to make, use another planeswalker type and I don't have a blue or whatever.
Sure.
But I was looking through what's been released so far, and it's showing up on everything. The only one I haven't seen so far is a mono green card that has a Proliferate.
There's no green Proliferate.
No, there is a blue-green one.
Let's check it out. Is it this Roalesque Apex hybrid?
I think so.
So this is 2 green, blue for a legendary creature, a human mutant that has flying and trample. It's a 4/5. When it enters the battlefield, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on another creature you control. And when it dies, you proliferate twice.
Yes.
Pretty cool card.
So then I'm looking through here even more. And then, okay, so I have notes. I've told you about these notes.
Yes.
And there's another note about Proliferate where basically I'll just read you this. Okay. I'll just read you this string. Okay, so Proliferate on other cards other than blue, please God. White and blue amass on red and black, and blue-red. Okay, I see Proliferate on a blue-green. Cards Bastion, holy shit! Proliferate the fuck, my God, that's gonna be expensive starting out. Everyone's gonna want that shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be at a premium.
So that was my notes verbatim.
Okay, so you're mad.
Yeah.
But you're mad because you're kind of happy.
No, I'm also mad at Jace.
Are you mad at Jace?
Okay, here's my notes exactly. It says, Jace's bullshit fucking self-milling good God.
That's the whole note.
That's the note.
That's good. And that is what he does. He's 1 blue, 4 loyalty. His passive is that if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game. So he's got the Laboratory Maniac rule. His +1, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard, then you draw a card. And his -8, draw 7 cards, then if your library has no cards in it, you win.
Nobody can see me right now as I'm like throwing my hands in and being pissed off about that. Fuck you, Jace.
The one thing that I think is kind of cool about it, well, I guess 2 things. One, it's a very different kind of Jace that we haven't really seen before, which I kind of like.
It's angsty Jace.
Right. And I like the idea, like, his whole thing is, wiping people's memories. And this is very clearly him performing this procedure on himself, like, removing memories.
Yep. And so there's a flavor text of the card No Escape.
Mm-hmm.
And my note to that was, so let me read it. Let me read what No Escape is. Because I'm also reading the flavor text of these cards too, because I like the story and I like the stuff that's coming out. Where is it? No Escape. So I have a note for the card No Escape, which is 2 and a blue, instant, counter target creature or planeswalker spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Scryer 1. So the flavor text says, Jace surmised that they were walking into Bolas' trap. He felt no joy in being right. And so my note was, Jace is dead inside anyway. Who cares?
It's very passive.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck anymore. Just like,
I wouldn't
whatever.
either.
Yeah, at this point, it's like
shit he's been through. Yep, and that art on No Escape shows the Immortal Sun being activated on top of the Azorius Senate, I'm pretty sure. Locking all the planeswalkers in, hence No Escape.
Yes. Do you want me to go through my notes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the next thing I wrote down was like, Army is actually interesting, this new amass mechanic.
Yeah. So what does amass do?
It basically is putting +1/+1 counters on an army creature type, I guess. And so I haven't seen art like what this army is, or like a creature type army or anything yet, but I've seen like some of Liliana's cards are create a 0/0 black zombie army token. So I'm assuming they're going to get an army creature type, which I'm thinking is like, when you have things like soldiers or stuff like that. So it's like a zombies mentoring, but not really. It's just buffing an army.
Right. It's like you have a single creature token that represents your entire army.
Yeah.
And growing the army is just putting more and more counters on the army. So when you amass, you put however many counters on it. And if you don't have an army, it makes one first and then puts it on.
Yes. And like there'll be a mass 1 or a mass 2.
Right.
Tibalt, baby. We already talked about Tibalt. So here's my note. My notes literally say, Tibalt, baby. Tibalt's Rager made me laugh. The name. I thought Raging Boner. That's what Tibalt calls his boner. It's Tibalt's Rager.
You want to see my Rager?
Yeah. And it's just this horrible demon that rips you to pieces. And then I put fuck you to Fairy, and I can't remember why.
What's your problem? Because it's blue-white?
No, I think it was about his abilities.
Because he's a black man.
No, that has nothing to do with anything. It's... Oh, I know why. Each opponent can cast spells only any time they could cast a sorcery. So taking away instant speed, but then fuck off. And then what was it? So Teferi, Time Raveler, 1 white, blue, legendary. We already know what he is. Yeah. Each opponent can cast spells only any time they could cast a sorcery. Bullshit.
So it turns off instant speed.
Yes. Then you can +1 him so that your next turn you may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash, so making sorceries instants. And then who cares about the artifact one? I don't care.
Well, that one, like, the cool thing about him is you can use his ult, quote unquote, right away. He has 4 loyalty when he comes in, and his ult is -3. Return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, then draw a card.
Okay, that's cool, I guess.
That's pretty cool.
But the other 2 things are bullshit. So fuck you to Fairy.
I really like...
trying to control time.
I just want to mention one thing, because right next to him in the spoiler for me is Ajani the Great-Hearted.
Uh-huh.
Green-white Ajani. He's a cool card. I won't go into it, because what I care about is the art on him.
Oh, it's so good.
I get so sick of Planeswalker cards. They're all in the exact same pose. They're all just in like 1/4, 3/4 turn in one direction or another, just standing there. And I get so sick of it. And this one, he's like coming at the screen, and it's like high angle on him, and he's got an art like Selesnya people around him. He's ripping the head off of an Eternal. Like, it's very dynamic and cool, and the colors are really bright. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty. That was definitely one of the art cards that stood out to me. Also, creatures you control have vigilance. Vigilance. Woo!
So you love that, obviously.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, because we're going to try to wrap up here pretty soon. This is just our sort of initial thoughts. Of all these cards that have been spoiled so far, do you have one that really pops out to you as like a favorite, something you really enjoy?
So here are my notes I have. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got a boner for the Wanderer, me included.
How could you not?
I know, because specifically for me, I have a thing for these angsty, but not like in a aggressive way, but like in a quiet, but like in a quiet, lofty, secret mystery. Also, white hair is a huge deal for me. So like all the characters I love in anime are like these angst or like these mysterious white-haired dudes, Kakashi from Naruto, Kinko from Mushishi, and also purple hair. If they had purple hair too, it would have been fine. But yeah, I really like this mystery character.
Yes.
And I'm not even sure.
So this is an uncommon planeswalker, and the interesting thing about her is that she has no planeswalker type, so we don't even know what her actual name is.
Right. Which is what somebody brought up, I think I saw on Twitter, where it's like, if she doesn't can I have multiples of her, but she's still legendary, so I don't think that's
possible. Because under the old rule, that would have been true. But under the new rule, it just looks at the name and legendary. So I don't think you can. So
she's 3 and a white, prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control. And then -2 is exile target creature with power 4 or greater, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Decapitated.
There's a flavor text on one of these cards, Wanderer's Strike. But it says, this is a quote from Lavinia, who's like,
no, I don't
law
know.
enforcement.
Okay.
And so she says, precise, clean cuts. No one saw anything. Again. Tag the report with my code and file it. So, like, there's reports of the Wanderer going around and fucking people up, basically.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Other than that, it's making me think, and the only thing that I can think of that I would like to try out would be, I like Obnixilis. I said Obby's pretty cool. And so
I'm a big fan of Obnixilis, the character.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I would probably make a red-black deck out of this and play with the Amass ability.
Yeah.
Because that's interesting to me. I'm really interested in the Amass thing. And then also, of course, any sort of burn Tibalt would be good for me, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But that's all. I haven't really put a lot of thought to it. How about you?
Well, I mean, I have 2 cards I want to talk about. The first one's a gimme.
Okay.
It's my boy, Nicol Bolas.
I specifically didn't want to talk about him. Let's just not talk about him.
Yeah, we're going to get way more into it next week in our extra turn, Nicol Bolas. But, the set's all about him. And so I'm going to give him a little levity before you ruin him. So his card is Nicol Bolas, Dragon God.
Oh,
come on.
Oh.
He costs blue, black, 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 red, which is a cool mana cost. He has 4 loyalty. His passive is the coolest shit ever. Nicol Bolas has all loyalty abilities of all other planeswalkers on the battlefield. I really like... I do like what they do with him, and like he makes sense for what he's doing in the story. He's trying to consume and absorb other sparks, and they represent that by he takes your abilities. His +1 is you draw a card. Each opponent exiles a card from their hand or a permanent they control. His -3 is he destroys a creature or planeswalker.
Just straight up.
And his ult -8, each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or planeswalker loses the game.
It really does. I want to say really quick is that this does feel like a giant superhero battle all out brawl.
Yes,
which is really cool.
They've really communicated that theme really well.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive. And the other card also has to do with Bolas, which is Bolas's Citadel.
Okay.
Which is an artifact, a legendary artifact. Costs 3 black, black, black. It says you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play the top card of your library. And if you do so, instead of paying its mana cost, you just pay life equal to its converted mana cost. And it has tap, sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life.
Yeah.
And you can see him on top of his Citadel sucking up those sparks.
Oh boy, this is great. I know you're trying to wrap up. I want to do one last thing.
Okay.
It's really funny. So it's in my notes, but I'll talk about the card first. There's a card called Cruel Celebrant as a vampire creature. Doesn't care what we do. All I want to do is the flavor text, where the flavor text just says, whichever side wins, I'm sure the banquet will be superb. And so in my notes, all I have is lol, cruel celebrant, you only gonna eat shit.
The look on her face.
No, you're just gonna get it. You're gonna die.
Everybody's gonna die.
You're all gonna die.
Look at these Eternals marching through here. No one's living.
Nope. You ain't gonna do nothing but eat shit and die. And on note, yes, what? No! We're trying to wrap up.
Just super quick. The trailer. We can't not talk about the trailer.
Oh.
Is this your reaction, or are you not wanting to talk about it?
I thought we were wrapping up, but let's talk about the trailer.
One sentence, quick take. What's your quick take on the trailer?
Lol, Linkin Park.
That it was like, I didn't recognize it at first, and I was hearing that piano lick, and I was like, is this? And I was like, so doubting it at first. Like, this, I was like, come on. They can't be doing this. It surprisingly kind of worked for me anyway.
It was okay. I know one of our listeners is going to be like sad that I'm like lukewarm about the choice of music, but you know what? It's just I've just watched so many game trailers and stuff, and so like the reverse time going backwards thing was played out for me. It was still cool though. It was
cool.
still very cool, and I liked watching it. I watched it twice, so
yeah. The character payoff of Liliana was really well done. Like, have you been following that story at all? That was good.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, how it feels like what we've seen so far of the spoilers really communicates that superhero team up against the big bad.
Yeah.
That trailer did that too. Like,
yes.
I like Nicol Bolas as a character. Watching him in that trailer, I was like, oh, I hate you so much.
Yeah, he's
like,
a piece of shit.
He is, yeah. Like, I lose sight of it just because I like the card so much and I like being him in the game. But he's an asshole.
He is.
He said, there's a quote from him on one of these cards where he basically says something along the lines of, oh, I remember what it was. It's a pass set on Amonkhet. I was looking up the defeat cycle. So when he beats the gate crash, when he beats the gate watch, there's a card for each color, for each of the planeswalkers, called Gideon's defeat, Liliana's defeat, etc., etc. And each one has flavor text that's like him just putting them down, basically.
He's an asshole.
Well, let me look up the one that I'm thinking of.
This is an extra turn, everybody. Because can't stop talking about Nicol Bolas.
Shut up. He's cool.
He is. Sure. Not in my fanfic.
Okay, this is the quote that like communicates who Nicol Bolas really is. This is on Nissa's defeat. The flavor text is, "The soul of this world is gone, Nissa, and I would gladly kill it again." He's like, he used this entire plane to power his plans and like destroyed it all, and he's like, and I'd do it again easily.
No regrets.
No, not at all. Anyway, I like Nicol Bolas. Yay!
Yay! Good for you. I hope he dies. Can't wait for the 50th time.
We'll see what happens at the end of this, because we're like in the first of 3 weeks of spoilers, so we'll see how the story unfolds. There's no way he wins. He's gonna lose.
No, I want them. God damn it, we're supposed to be wrapping up. I hope that he does win. And it's just a fucking desolation. And then we have a desolation set. And it's disgusting. And it's sad and depressing. And then there's this one, the Wanderer comes in. Oh my god, my pants are getting tight.
I'm turgid.
Terrible. No, goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.